Welcome back to bmaster79. In this video we are working through ielts speaking part 1 on the topic of housework and cooking. First the brainstorming so you can see how the answers are built, and then a full set of band 9 model answers. A quick reminder of how part 1 works. It lasts roughly 4 to 5 minutes. Right at the start of the test, the examiner asks familiar questions about your home, your work or study, and your daily habits. Aim for 2 to 4 sentences. This is a conversation, not a speech, and sounding over-rehearsed will cost you more marks than sounding simple. Here is our topic. Number 55, housework and cooking, with 4 questions. Did you do housework when you were young, and why? What kind of housework do you like to do? Do you have breakfast at home every day? And do you want to learn how to cook well in the future? For every question I use the same 3 steps. Answer, reason, extend. Answer the question directly in the first few words. Give a reason because the examiner is listening for a because. Then extend with a detail, an example, or a contrast, and stop. 3 steps, 2 to 4 sentences, done. Question 1. Did you do housework when you were young, and why? Notice the past tense, so the whole answer has to stay in the past. On the left, the ideas. Yes, regularly, from about the age of 8, sweeping the floors and taking out the rubbish. Parents who expected everyone to contribute. And the real point, learning responsibility rather than clean floors. On the right, the language I want to hit. Pull your weight. Be in charge of. Looking back. And a sense of responsibility. Here is the model answer.
Yes, quite a lot, actually. My parents were pretty firm about all of us pulling our weight, so from about the age of 8 I was in charge of sweeping the floors and taking the rubbish out. Looking back, I think they cared less about the chores themselves and more about giving us a sense of responsibility.
Answer in 3 words. Reason, the parents expected it. Extend, looking back with an adult perspective on why. Question 2. What kind of housework do you like to do, and why? This one is two-sided, so name something you like and something you dislike. That shows far more range. Cooking is genuinely relaxing. Chopping vegetables after a long day. Ironing is repetitive and thankless, with nothing to show for it. The language, therapeutic, merely tolerate, I can't stand, and nothing to show for it. The model answer.
Cooking is really the only one I actively enjoy. There's something quite therapeutic about chopping vegetables after a long day. Everything else I merely tolerate. Ironing in particular I can't stand, mainly because it's so repetitive and you've got nothing to show for it an hour later.
Notice therapeutic, a precise word doing the work that very nice cannot do. Question 3. Do you have breakfast at home every day, and why? The words every day are inviting a frequency answer, so do not give a flat yes. Not every day, because weekday mornings are rushed. Grab something on the way to campus. But at weekends, a proper effort, eggs and toast. And the warm detail, it is the one meal the family eats together. Language, rush out the door, grab something on the way, make a proper effort, and sit down together. The model answer.
Not every day, no. On weekdays I'm usually rushing out the door, so I'll just grab something on the way to campus. At weekends, though, I make a proper effort, normally eggs and toast, because it's about the only meal my family actually sits down and eats together.
A qualified answer, not every day, is stronger than a flat yes because it gives you something to explain. Question 4. Do you want to learn how to cook well in the future, and why? This is a future question, so reach for future forms and would love to. Definitely yes. Right now, a handful of simple dishes. The target cooking properly rather than following recipes. And 2 reasons: eating more healthfully and cooking as a way of looking after people. Language, throw together, follow a recipe step by step, eat more healthfully and look after someone. And the last model answer.
Definitely. At the moment, I can throw together a handful of simple dishes, but I'd love to be able to cook properly rather than just following a recipe step by step. Partly that's about eating more healthily, but honestly, I also think cooking for people is one of the nicest ways to look after them.
1 word to answer, then a contrast between what she can do now and what she wants to do. That contrast is where the grammar marks come from. Here are the first 2 questions and answers in full, so you can pause and read. Note how short they are. None of these is longer than 4 sentences. And questions 3 and 4, read them aloud once at speaking speed and time yourself. You should be finishing each one in under 30 seconds. The language bank. These are the collocations from all 4 answers. Do the housework, never make housework. Pull your weight. Be in charge of a chore. Take out the rubbish or trash in American English. Run errands. Throw a meal together. Follow a recipe, not do a recipe. Grab a bite on the way. A home-cooked meal. And eat out or eat in. Why we would assess this as Band 9. Fluency. The answers run on naturally with linking words. Vocabulary, precise and idiomatic. Grammar, every question shifts the tense, past habit, present habit, future intention. 1 important caveat, and it is on screen too. Band 9 here is our own quality assessment against the public ielts band descriptors. It is not a certified examiner score. Your turn. Cover the answers and record yourself on all 4 questions. Use answer, reason, extend every single time, and force in 2 phrases from the language bank. Post your answer to question 4 in the comments, and I will read them. See you in the next one.